Hi, welcome to another edition of Christmas Vacation where we're thinking about God, but also we're looking at the film, Christmas Vacation, that classic film, and discovering some life lessons that will help us as we try to be the people we're supposed to be and as we celebrate Christmas. One of the fun scenes in Christmas Vacation, and there's a lot of them, is where Clark looks into his tree because they hear a noise in the tree. And the squirrel jumps out and chases the entire family through the house, ends up causing in-laws and outlaws to pass out, chases them upstairs, downstairs, the dog chases the squirrel, it ends up running out the door, and then the dog attacks the neighbors coming in to yell at Clark Griswold. I mean, it is just madcap chaos, and here's what you need to know about that scene. It was one of the most difficult sequences to make in the entire film. Here's why. The film was made back in the 80s. Back before CGI technology allowed them to do some of the stuff that we take for granted today when we watch a film. As a result, as crazy as this sounds, they trained a trained squirrel to make those moves that you see taking place in the Griswold house, in the living room, and up the stairs, where the dog was chasing it and then ultimately chasing it out the door. So next time you watch that, recognize that what you're seeing, for the most part, is a real squirrel. Occasionally, they run a stuffed one in for that sequence, but it's a real squirrel. The one on the back of the mom, no, okay, that was fake, we knew that. But that's part of the storyline. They were trying to use a trained real squirrel. That's insane, right? No. What's really insane is that during production, the night before they shot the scene, the trained squirrel died. Yes. The squirrel, destined for stardom, one day away from being caught and making immortality on film, died. The squirrel was gone. Came time to film the scene. It had been elaborately set up. They go to get the squirrel was dead. So what were they going to do? They got another squirrel. This one wasn't trained. So this is a squirrel that had to be trained on the spot by a designated squirrel trainer to try to get the squirrel to behave in such a way that would create the chaos that we catch on film. So what you see on film is a squirrel on his very first day of filming, his first day as an animal actor, becoming the squirrel that is chased all through the house. Believe it or not, it added to the chaos of the scene, and it made it so much more difficult because they didn't know for sure where the squirrel was going to go, and the scene took all day to film. The reactions are priceless. They are hysterical, and the squirrel made it through alive. Rumor has it the squirrel retired shortly after this film shoot, but it is captured forever as a part of that sequence where that squirrel comes out of the tree. You know, you just never know when your moment's up. Think about that squirrel for just a minute. That squirrel, the one that died, oh, he could have been a star. So many possibilities if he just hung on there one more day. But he couldn't. He's a squirrel. His time was up. And so the squirrel stepped in, filled the spot, did the film. Not to be morbid, because it's Christmas Vacation. But you know, all we know we have in life is today. We get today. You're not sure if this is the last video you'll ever watch. You're not sure if you get tomorrow morning. You're not sure what the next day is going to hold. None of us get that security in life. And so, a Christmas lesson that we need to learn, and maybe a behind-the-scenes Christmas Vacation lesson, comes thinking about that squirrel for just a minute. You can make plans, you can be ready for anything, but also remember that each moment that you get, especially as a living, breathing human being, is a gift. And it's a gift that you never should waste, because life is precious. And the ripple effect of your life is huge. And so embrace life, embrace each moment, embrace the celebration of Christmas, and make it the best Christmas ever since the first one. It's a good goal. Let's go on vacation again in our next episode.